We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah, yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Runes is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
Runestones.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit's on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookie on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ayy, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ayy, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live for the Ordinal Hour, and today is going to be absolutely awesome because it's another Arch Thursday. We have the team from Arch on with a bunch of projects to kind of go over and kind of get you guys bullish again. Right now, the market's been bad. It's not been fun. It's just been, the last 2 weekends in a row now, we've got smacked in the face over and over again. The sentiment is the lowest I've seen it in over a year. I'm even starting to get like, what the hell is going on, right? So, but we're in crypto. I have faith in this asset class. I have faith in this ecosystem, and I think that we are going to get to bullish times. And whether that's this month or next month, I do believe it is this year. So I think we have to be patient. Keep accumulating bags, keep accumulating fiat so you can buy more bags, right? So I think that's the goal here is kind of get paid, buy bags, because I truly believe that we're going to head into a decentralized ecosystem where our stuff matters, right? So, and that's, potentially in the future, runes, ordinals, and everything we're doing here too. We got some news from TAP we're going to go over. We have some news what this drop that's happening today. We have the stones, right? So looking forward to seeing what happens with that. It's not a good day to be launching, but we'll see what happens. I think it'll really be really telling about where our space is going with depends on this this drop today by Leo. So we'll see. But without further ado, let me bring in my partner here as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? Are you feeling down right now? Are you feeling like get hit in the face too many times? Maybe
I definitely felt
break. How you feeling?
I definitely felt it from your intro. Like you definitely look. I feel the energy. Just in the air because I feel down. You feel down. People feel down right now because the sentiment isn't what we expected. February 6th, 2025. But I think we need to pull our britches up and say, hey, look. We've been through worse. And I do get it. Like, sometimes there's only so much you can take without just taking a break or taking a breather. And sometimes, maybe taking a walk outside or something can do it for you. Going to the gym. I just started going back to the gym. And so, just to get your mind off of it, because it doesn't always have to be 24/7 Bitcoin and crypto, and maybe taking an hour or two away from that can help. So,
yeah. Well, the Bears attack Is it time to pack it up? What would you say to the person that says, you know what, guys, I'm done here. I'm just gonna go do Uber Eats. I'm done with this shit. How do you feel about someone that says that?
I'll say, do you want to be another statistic in that category that said, man, right before
Yeah.
the market took off, I actually stepped away. I couldn't take it. I gave up or whatever, and everything took off. I sold all my assets. I actually did that, but not with crypto. I did it with the sports card trading industry. I had a bunch of Luka Doncic rookies, and graded 10s and BGS 9.5s, so they were gems. And I was like, man, like I really am tired of like just the price not really going anywhere. And right before the COVID boom for cards collectibles, I sold them all for like, and I think it was a cumulative of like $2,500. Which, if I would have waited 6 months, that would have been over 6 figures. Actually, I did the math.
Wow.
Right, and so because everything just completely boomed up. Maybe I sold for a little bit more than 2,500, but I did remember I was like close to 6 figures, and I was just, I don't want to feel that way again, ever again. That feeling was horrible. And so that doesn't mean that you guys got to follow what my mindset is. I'm just telling you guys my experience and how I feel now about it. And so I could see people regretting it in the future if they just stepped away right before a huge opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. And we've got so much news. It's just so wild to me that we can look at the news every single day. We have, a bullish president. He's creating, projects in crypto, right? He has a meme coin. He's building this company that invests in crypto. We're talking about a strategic reserve. We're talking about a sovereign wealth fund with crypto in it. Like, so it's just so hard for the prices just to be so flat and like death to a lot of projects right now. When you see a lot of things that are so bullish. Like, why do you think everything is like so bullish coming from mainstream, but so bearish on the floor here?
I hate to say this, but it's probably of whose capitals is in our markets right now, majority. And you have two groups. You have the institutions, which there's a lot of that in there, but they're not in there playing in the trenches like we are every day. That's not how they roll. And then you have some whales that will play in the trenches. And then you have the rest of the DeFi and crypto Twitter community. Maybe some new retail entries every day, but they don't know what's going on really, right? And if you had to pick one group of, I guess, more that has the least amount of liquidity, it's going to be the crypto Twitter side, because the whales have a lot and then the institutions have the most. So institutions aren't going to play, and so it feels dry. The whales are very smart in terms of when they go in and out. And right now, it seems like they're definitely bobbing and weaving, right? Coming in, they're great traders. They take liquidity, they come out, and they say, hold on, I'm going to be in stable. I'm just waiting for that green light.
Yeah.
Crypto Twitter has a problem. We're all addicted. We're the degen. So we keep against each other PvPing. And now it's like, where's the money? Well, you're taking it from each other, guys. And so that's kind of the situation, unfortunately, of where we are now. Now, once Ethereum takes off, I think everybody hopes that there will be this mass adoption. But I will say this, there is some hope, because I am big on trying to onboard normies. And I think the approach that Abstract's taking with this dashboard that's really friendly, having these kind of mini apps that you can play on your phone, that needs to happen more instead of just PvP meme coin trading. Because I'll tell you what, no one's going to want to come from the outside to do that.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's jump into the first thing here. Elon Musk proposes putting the U.S. Treasury on blockchain for spending transparency. Do you see something like this happening? Can we put the U.S. Treasury on a blockchain? Do you think that's even possible, or is this kind of a pipe dream?
I think the world has to kind of come on board, right? Because whenever you make international payments and stuff like that, the U.S. Treasury is going to have to make sure that they can receive the payment with a wallet and all that stuff, right? But yeah, I actually see this being probably the future, unless our government goes through a really crazy insurrection type of situation to where the other side doesn't want things to be transparent and all that stuff, right? But I think it would be good for the American people to kind of understand, hey, look, this, you want to see where it went? It went here. It went to this wallet. This wallet is the official wallet of this department. And then department institutions across the country would have to have their official wallet, right? And so that's where I think it would be beneficial.
Yeah, I agree. The FDIC plans to revise crypto guidelines as banks push for custody services and tokenize deposits on the blockchain. So banks are pushing for this, and the FDIC is kind of okay with it now. So we're going to see, banks trading crypto, like doing things with creating products for crypto. And again, another really, really bullish thing, really bullish. The bank's going to be creating products in crypto. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's not DeFi, and that's not that's not the trenches. This is institutional stuff, dude. That like this isn't gonna move the needle in the areas that we're in, deep every day. And so that's why I think, like, when you see these type of headlines that we expect, oh wow, like everything should be pumping, that's not happening because they're different groups of people, mindsets.
Yeah, man. MicroStrategy rebrands to Strategy. And they got a little B logo as well on the end of it. So it's Strategy and then a Bitcoin logo. How do you feel about that? MicroStrategy is they become a Bitcoin strategy.
I like it. But it's almost kind of like, so are you getting away from, creating the software as a service type of thing, B2B? Is it going to be just strictly like a Bitcoin investment company, or maybe they keep that and they just have different sectors of their company, which I could see as well, almost kind of like institutional advisory type of situation, which makes complete sense for Saylor and his company if he develops that. So.
Yeah, 100%. Senator Elizabeth Warren calls for President Trump to help stop the Bank of Americans, but then David Sachs came out and he was just like, David Sachs stated crypto founders have been debanked just because they founded a crypto company. So it's like she's the one doing it, right? So it's like, it's just insane to me that, like, it's like, oh, we're debanking Americans, and it's like, you've been banking Americans this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, could you get any more like hypocritical in acting like you're trying to do right here, right? And so I don't know. I feel like it's just so funny to see that, actually.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing for her.
It really is. It really is, and it sucks too because she had such a historic career, and then I feel like the last like 4 to 8 years she like completely destroyed it. So.
Yeah.
BlackRock is launching a Bitcoin exchange traded product in Europe after the success of its $58 billion US ETF, according to Bloomberg. So now BlackRock is going to be creating a European version of the ETF. Again, still really, really bullish. Do you think that that's actually needed? I just don't know. Do Europeans play in our markets, or do they play in their own markets?
I think there's definitely some, bigger, I guess, like traders and stuff before. They definitely played in US markets, like everybody does across the globe, but they have their own markets as well. So this is probably just more global coverage approach here.
Donald Trump's TruthFi files an investment vehicle for Truth.fi Bitcoin Plus ETF. So Donald is now getting into the ETF business. His team there, Truth.fi. I feel like when Elon became a part of Trump's organization, he no longer wanted to like fight with Twitter anymore or X. So now they're trying to find more use cases for this. I mean, it was just a meme coin. Really, I mean, for the longest time, it had Truth Social, but no one used it. But people were just buying it, DJT, because of Donald Trump. When Trump was about to win the election, DJT flew up. But now they need to do something different with it, and maybe creating an ETF with it as well. Do you think that TruthFi now competing with BlackRock of all play pieces? So
I think he needed to do something with Truth Social as well. Right. And so this is kind of works perfectly.
Well, this is Truth Social.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So he's kind of rolling it in there and saying, hey, guys, don't worry. I haven't forgot about True Social, and it actually grows to his like his the stock too, right? So he's in a weird position with that because there's some responsibility from a social angle, I guess, and so this kind of helps that. But it is interesting, like if you look at World Liberty Coin and stuff like that, it seems like that TradFi culture is starting to come into certain things, and I wouldn't be shocked if there's multiple financial products that are underneath that umbrella of TradFi, and now you got truth.fi, and having like a banking set of banking products and like institutions under your name is like that's just going to be generational after generation after generation. So it's a smart thing to do, at least from like a legacy standpoint.
Yeah, man. I think it's really smart. I think I actually hope this ETF beats out the BlackRock one. That would be lovely. I mean, it would take a few years and years, but that would be cool to see it in the future. So this was big. Pudgy Penguins burned 13.6% of the supply of Pengu. Their meme coin over there, over 150 million after the claim period closes. So pretty wild. And then the token actually, if someone comes out and says they burned supply, your token usually goes up. The token actually drops another 10% after this news. Are people really down on what Luca is doing over there right now on Abstract and Pudgy Penguins?
I don't think it's what he's doing. Now, I think that some part of the DeFi space is probably underwhelmed because it is like a dashboard that is more for onboarding just the everyday person, which was the goal, by the way. But it's the market, man. It's the overall market right now. Like, everybody's trying everything. Like people are throwing everything at the, at the book, and it's not working. It's not sticking right now. The only thing that I've seen that has like not really fallen back dramatically is Hyperliquid, and I think that is more because they have like traditional financial kind of products and features on their platform, right? And it's a decentralized version of like these Coinbases and Binances and stuff, and so people are used to that. So other than them, I don't see anybody else. Bitcoin itself, of course, looks strong still. Those are the only two kind of assets that I see right now that have held. And so we really got to get through, to this next phase of this cycle, if we truly are still in the bull market, to have some relief, and I don't know if that takes like stimulus. I don't know, whatever, something needs to get like invigorate the space and say, okay, here we go. Like, here's the energy jump, the jump that you needed.
Yeah, I with Doge now cutting stuff, I doubt 100% we get any type of stimulus, especially here in the US. But like, so now I'm kind of thinking though, right? So let's just say like, TradFi does come over and kind of take over a lot of the crypto financing, stuff like that. We still have gaming, right? We still have blockchain gaming. We still have a lot of stuff like that. And it seems like Abstract and them really kind of pushing that. And that's something I wasn't really kind of seeing until now. Is just like Abstract is a gaming chain. Like I keep seeing all these new games pop up, and I'm like, oh, I'm interested in that. I'll play that and stuff like that. It's kind of like taking, my time I used to play on Xbox and PlayStation and kind of moving that to earn NFTs and crypto by playing these games. And I think, we still have a shot with blockchain gaming, even if TradFi does take over the DeFi stuff and creates their own type of decentralized markets and stuff like that. Well, centralized markets and stuff like that. So
yeah, I agree with this. And it's not just with Abstract, like, Abstract's doing a good job, but like other companies need to really think about, this is my opinion, my humble opinion, we got to really start rolling things into like everyday habits of what people are doing, like, playing little mobile games or, fun stuff, integrate stuff for like loyalty, some sort of loyalty reward type of deal. Stuff that's like they can relate to, other than they don't relate to being dumped on. I'll tell you that. And that's something that's got to really change in our space. And, I see Mice Elf left another great comment. He says, I feel like crypto influencers are way more transparent about dumping their bags on the inexperienced people these days. That's got to be unattractive to a newcomer. 100,000% agree with that. And so it's like, why would any sane person say, or like see a little bit of activity You know, if anybody have any wits to them, they're not going to just jump into something. But if they're like, you know, I want to learn, and then they get to that first level of learning DeFi, and they're just like, for example, let's say they got into the BeraChain thing today, and they see how PvP that was. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh my God, I'm staying away from this space. You know what I mean? 100%. But if it was something that was legitimate, like, you know, it made them, like, it connected with them in a different way, and it wasn't like this, oh, you know, one of these people in the space that's experienced is gonna, you know, it's a zero-sum game and they're gonna take your coins or whatever. You know, that's a different story. If they feel like they're getting something back, you know, if you feel like you're getting something back that's worth it, that's what's, in my opinion, going to be the thing that really, you know, onboards the masses, because we got to start doing better. And it partially, I'm going to blame this on the SEC, actually, the last 4 years, by making us kind of turn into the most degen space that we could turn into. But we can't keep standing on that, you know, crutch of excuse. Now it's time for us to grow up as a space and say, hey, let's create substance for people that they feel like they're getting something out of this relationship instead of a one-way street always.
Yeah, you're right, dude. 100%. I agree with, dude. What everything you just said now was like perfect, because I do feel that, and the SEC is really the boot on the throat for the last 4 years, and we're finally able to breathe again, but we're not standing up yet, right? And that's the thing. We the boot's off our neck, but we're still on the ground trying to, you know, recover from 4-year beatdown. And what they did to us, they forced us into this meme trading. They forced us into pump fun. They forced us into those situations because that was the only thing that we knew weren't securities. Right, we knew you weren't going to get in trouble. Well, builders anyway knew you weren't getting in trouble for creating these things, but they knew if you created a game with an NFT project and, you know, where the user can earn coins and stuff, that you were potentially secure against security laws. And you know, we're finally getting to a point where we can finally be like, okay, let's do that. But we're so far behind where we would be without that boot around our throat, the Operation Choke Point.
Yeah, exactly. And here's another sad thing. It's like the Pump Fund team, like, we have like business models that are generating tons of money. Like they were generating $15 million a day, I think, at one point in fees, right? And like, we can't even invest in Pump Fund. Like, how do we do it? Like, Pump Fund doesn't even have a token for us to invest in. It would be different if at least that, like, I can invest into the casino that is generating good revenue on their books and all these things. But because of the structure of the regulation, that lack of regulation, Pump Fund didn't launch a token because they were like, we don't want to get in trouble, but we can at least do the make a business around it and earn fees. But like, if you have a casino, if you're in an industry where there's just a bunch of casinos and there's no way for you to get part of that in a solid investment into, like, let's say I want to invest in the casino and, you know, I get a return back, then you are their revenue. You know what I mean? And so that's the space right now, and we really got to change that.
100%, man. Moving along here. So the Czech president, he says he signed a law removing the capital gains tax on Bitcoin after 3 years. So if you hold Bitcoin for more than 3 years in the Czech Republic, you don't have to pay no taxes on.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So these are like really good things from like regulatory, like, first level in different countries and stuff. Like, Bitcoin's starting to be this accepted total, like, okay, you know, this is a solid asset. But I don't, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox here in a second, but like, I don't think that we can move to that next level until we as a space clean it up, because Bitcoin's fine. You can see it on the chart, it's fine. Like, you know what I mean? It's 97,000, right? But the other parts, there's some majors and some blue chips and stuff like that, right? That are okay too, but like, it's really, really shaky everywhere else. But this is good because at least, like, that the hardest asset in our industry is getting more recognition.
100%. And the last thing here is President Trump's son, Eric Trump. Well, last week he came out and said it feels like a great time to buy ETH, and it wasn't. It was a terrible time. And now he came out and says it's a great time to buy Bitcoin, and it's not. I mean, it's probably a terrible time. I don't know, man. Eric Trump needs to shut up and just go away for a little while with these damn comments. You're getting everyone bullish, and then you just like rip the rug out underneath them. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of weird. You know, it was a great time to buy ETH, and then dumps hard.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, I actually think it's fine to buy.
Yeah.
Me personally, you know, at these prices, or you know, because I think we all know where it's going to be in like 5 years, right? Or at least like
Oh
have
yeah.
some idea, right? And so, but it is funny that I think he does need to kind of chill, get in the back
Yeah.
seat a little bit, just chill, just it's
Yeah.
not. You
And
need a little bit more time.
And one of the rumors is he's the one running this account, this World Liberty Fi account.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one he's probably not making the trades, but he's the one initiating
In charge.
in charge of the what people do. I'm sure
Yeah.
they have crypto. I would love that job. Like my job is to do the on-chain trades, like by like working with World Liberty or some of them. Like, yo, buy ETH. It's like, all right, I got you, bro. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into the Bitcoin fear and greed here. Last week was a 70. Yesterday was a 54. And where we're at today, I actually feel this. Like I feel neutral. And that's my hand for today. We're a little bit lower than yesterday at 54. What do you think we are today?
52.
49.
Okay.
I feel 49 right now.
Really? You sound like
do.
you sound more like 34.
I feel neutral. I might maybe it's a good sign because like I'm somebody who's overly bullish all the time. But this is the first time where I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, you know what I mean? But
Like,
yeah,
I
I
give
feel
up.
neutral. No. I'm not red. But I'm definitely yellow. I'm definitely feeling yellow right now. So
Yeah. No, I feel you, man.
Let's jump. Yeah, man. Let's jump into that Bitcoin price action brought to you by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be the leading leverage trading platform in the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. We had Instant on the show on Tuesday. Really amazing guy. Really showed his personality, and we talked about a lot of good things. But BitPerp's going to be, I think, in my opinion, bigger than Hyperliquid. I think that for our ecosystem, right? For the Bitcoin ecosystem, I feel like these guys are really going to do a lot of really amazing stuff, and it's a Bitcoin team, right? These guys are layer 2 Bitcoin. They want to showcase everything we're doing here. They could expand in the future, but they have a huge announcement coming up, and they're going to be on the test net really soon. So guys are going to be able to paper trade. We know we've been saying for a while, but these guys just want to make sure it is absolutely perfect. And honestly, it's probably not the market to launch anything anyway, right? So look out for that. Check out bitperp.io. They do want to enrich their community, so I highly recommend you guys be a part of that and learn. Take advantage of the paper trading competition on the Spider Chain and everything that they offer. So,
yep. Before we get into the Bitcoin price action on the YouTube side, guys, if you could help us out, smash that like for us, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, smash that like for us, share the space as well. And on the abstract streaming side, share this stream if you wouldn't mind. Appreciate all the support there. But let's jump into some Bitcoin price action, which doesn't look great. I will say that to start off with. I've been seeing some of these TA guys talk about, mid-February towards the end of February is where we might get like a push up. So we might actually see further down. And if I'm looking at the 1 hour chart, it actually looks like it wants to go down further. Unfortunately, I know more bad news. Sorry, guys. This downtrend definitely is starting here to happen. It kind of bumped out a little bit, though. It bumped out a little bit, but it definitely came right back into it. Let me kind of create this trend line as well here. Yeah. There. So yeah, I mean, it did bump out a little bit here, but we'll see. On the MACD, it definitely shows that we want to start this sell pressure, right? That's what it's showing right there. Also in the stochastics, it shows that we have crossover, barely crossover oversold. We're sitting at a 5.52. The 20-point mark is where we are officially in oversold. We just got here, guys, and it's the hour chart. So I imagine that we're probably going to bleed down a bit, maybe 95.5, 96, swinging back to like 97,000. So probably just chop is what I'm feeling, unless there's some bad news. And maybe we do kind of go down further, right? Maybe that's what we need, is a little bit more pain. And I know that sucks, but before mid to late February, to where we see some sort of energy back. The consensus from talking to like a lot of our partners and people that are in the space is that, the alts will have this spring, kind of spring up, but that could take all the way to April, right? And so, we could be going through this in for the next month and a half, unfortunately. But things could change quickly, especially if things calm down within the government and our economic kind of outlook or forecast there. So second half of today, like I said, I do feel kind of like we're going to bleed out a little bit more. That 95,000 mark, maybe even a little bit lower if it is time to kind of reset again. So that's what I'm seeing for the second half of today. The 4-hour chart does not look much better at all. Yes, we are showing that we're still in the buy pressure, but it's done. This is exhausted. You can see here. I mean, we're this unless we have some big bullish news and then the 1-hour chart just shoots up, then maybe we have another big green candle forming on the MACD, but I doubt it. It looks like it wants to go down further, guys. Same thing with the stochastic. It stopped right in the middle. And so I bet you we're gonna head back down here, but this is just my kind of high level breakdown because I don't get super deep into the TA here. But yeah, we still are underneath the 50-day EMA as well. So we definitely need to break above this channel before we can start to see some bullish activity. I don't know what to say, guys. Just buckle in, focus on some of the stuff of like maybe more research, projects that have substance. For me, I'm going to try to stay away from meme stuff. The memes that I have already are community associated. And so, especially within the runes ecosystem and a little bit of abstract stuff like that. But like, I'm done like dabbling with that until the market returns. And I'm researching more infrastructure stuff for the Bitcoin ecosystem. We're going to release a great video this weekend. We had a R&D developer from the Near protocol that breaks down how they're going to utilize Bitcoin and service our assets by adding Bitcoin addresses in their smart contracts, right? So stuff like that. That's what I'm focusing on. You do you, but find your little thing that kind of brings you to your zen, so that is what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. Hopefully that helps, guys. I know we're in a tough time, but we can get through this together.
Wait, you said I should buy Zen?
No. Find your Zen in your brain. Don't buy Zen. Do not buy Zen.
All right, let's jump into the roll call here. Let's see who is first. Oh, Danny, 3 days in a row, man. Let me pop you in here. Dude, you had the 4th, the 5th, and now you have the 6th. Let me show my screen here. Shout out that Danny boy. Our first 3-peat. I think it was our first 3-peat. Yasher had a 2-peat. And then PJ and Z had a 2-peat. Yeah, our first 3-peat, bro. You are coming alive right now. Crazy. Great job, bro. Great job. Shout out to Danny Boy. He says 1. And then he says, no way, 3 in a row. Yo, BeraChain scammed us testnet use. I thought it goes 3 in a row, and it goes right into, BeraChain scammed us testnet users. I put in serious work and got peanuts. Well, that actually makes me feel better. I'm sorry about your pain, but like I was somebody who regretted not doing. Dude, I love testnets. I love it, but I didn't do it, man, because it wasn't a part of our ecosystem, and I regretted it. But now I'm kind of like, okay, at least it wasn't crazy. I'm curious, if you don't mind, maybe you can DM me or something. I would love to know how many tokens you got and stuff like that. So just curious, kind of what the normal person is getting, because I did see businessman.eth got a buttload of them, but he said he did it. He was he had some type of tweeting thing. He was tweeting about it, and that's how he got paid. So I don't know. We need to get some of those though, for sure.
Well, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Like I heard about BeraChain in 2022, and I was just like, it's a bear. I was just, it didn't seem like it was bullish. And then all of a sudden there's all this hype of it recently. And you and I kind of played over there this morning. That shit is not for newbies. Normie goes over there. They're never coming back over here. Actually, I went in excited, came out like with my tail between my legs. I was like, I'm done with this damn thing. But anyways.
Yeah, I actually have that on the list. We're actually going to jump into that. But shout out to Chief Axel. Danny Boy says, I know no way the Reaper let this slide. A lot of testnet users on Bear got 0 that tested.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And so they're gonna sell. So then like a lot of people, that's gonna cause negative energy, I think, and probably sell down the token.
Yeah, man. Gary D says bullish. Webdro. Mr. Hanky is here. The Christmas poo was Billy Cat. Shout out to Mr. Hanky. Webdro says start of something bigger. I agree. Malam Yuri says, could this be the biggest crypto sale ever? Yeah, I mean, if you still have funds, right? That's the problem. I'm not broke. I'm just fully allocated at this point. But Nighthawk says, GM, Danny Boy cheated. How'd Danny Boy cheat? That's some serious claims, Mr. Nighthawk. That's some serious claims. Danny Boy said, Nighthawk never, LOL. PJ NZ says, Danny, what the? You've been camping all this time. So I love our chat. You guys are you guys make it worth it every day.
Yeah.
Glass Hopper is here for sure. Danny Boy says GM. Don't fear the Reaper. And then Ordinal Sweet says Yagobi will save us from the Bears. Will you save Ordinal Sweets from the Bears?
Well, I'll try. I'll try my best. I'll try my best, man. That's all I can do is wake up every day, put my boots on, and try my best.
Joko says, GM, are we going to get stoned today? Yeah, we actually have that. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Mempool Punk is here. Austin Gray is here. Nagi. Big Rod, where you been, bro? It's been a long time, Big Rod. Big Rod is back on the live stream. Shout out to my guy, man. Miss you, brother. Cheaty is here. Shout out to Cheaty here every single day. Appreciate you, my friend. Then we got ASAP Benji, Mice Elf, Steamy J, Glass Hopper in the building. So I think the market's is skittish short term of what Trump will say next. Long term will be bullish. I agree with that. C Corux, I think it's your first time making roll call. Thank you so much for being here. He said there's a big swing failure pattern, long setup on the 15-minute time frame with an entry around 95,000, a profit targets at 97, 4, 99, and 102. Yeah, it's good to know. Thank you so much for that. And then we have Danny Boy finishing up here. He says it was soon bad. I got 18 in one wallet and 4 another. Damn, that's really bad. He said, I did so many transactions on 7 different wallets. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. And then on X, we have our guy, Irada TV. He says, Morpheus AI shows how it's done. 0 pre-mine, 0 airdrops, anonymous founder, 100% open source. Every token earned for contributing to the project in some way. No excuses needed. Yeah, I never heard of it, though. Morpheus AI. If it wasn't Morpheus on Phantom, could this be the same one?
Dude, there's like, I think there's like 100 Morpheuses.
Is there?
So, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's crypto, dude. Like Morpheus from Matrix and that, yeah, it just, relates.
I think this might be the same project, though, because I did remember that they're doing more stuff with AI. I don't know if they just moved over. I'm curious, but I could be wrong. I'll look at that later. All right. And that is your roll call for today. Myself actually jumps in and says, I'm focusing on what I believe will have great collector value in the future. Yeah, I agree.
Dude, I've been thinking about that a lot lately, especially with the prices that are over on Ordinals right now. There was a point yesterday where I was like, man, why play in this PvP type of world right now when it's really hard because, everybody's trying to take each other's stuff. But like when you can just get like an Ordinal that you have conviction in for some reason, early inscription, popularity, and like 2 years down the road that the value is going to, 5x, 10x or whatever. So
100%. Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, let's kind of get into it. So we talked about it a little bit. We'll kind of get a little bit more deep on it. BeraChain launched today. So me and you were both doing our homework this morning. So you guys don't have to. We were in the trenches. We bridged over. We found out how to load our MetaMask wallets. We bridged over. We got over there. I sent a full ETH. I played a little bit and then sent 0.9 back. It was not a great experience, but I'm curious. What was your experience like?
Horrible. It was horrible. I mean, like, I get that from a project founder and fee generation standpoint, like launching these pump fund style platforms is almost a no-brainer because that like you're gonna at least get volume and earn fees, right? The problem is that like it's just adding on top of this PvP culture to where like none of these are like 95% of these are just like straight people that fund the token at first and then they're just trying to get as many buyers in and then dump on you. And even the small percentage of ones that do make it, let's say they make it to graduation, like there's another high percentage chance that they end up dumping, bringing the market cap really low, right? So it's just it's discouraging, I think, right? Because yeah, you could hit one that goes absolutely nuts, and right now the ones that go absolutely nuts are on Solana with like Pump Fun, and maybe with Base with Moonshot, and Abstract doesn't have enough liquidity right now, or capital right now, or liquidity over there right now. But it's like every chain, if they keep doing this, it's not going to like help the culture of PvPing everybody, and normies don't want that. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be like this. It'd be like if you liked video games and you heard that there's a tournament and you want to play it, and so you join, but like everybody's just like you're wrecked from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And so like, how are you going to practice this? Like, I guess using very small amounts of money, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not fun though. You know what I mean? It can be at times, but it just gets tiring quickly, I think.
Yeah, and even the ones that do extremely well, like Jelly or whatever it was, Solana token went up to 126 million, and then now it's back down to like less than 10, right? So it's like it's one of those things where it's even if you do hit one, you got to get out early. And like that's not investing. Like I want to invest here. I want to get something and potentially have it forever, right? I mean, that's kind of what the point of investing is. It's kind of like finding the next big thing, for finding the next big collectible or whatever, right? Like, David Sachs came out and said he sees meme coins like collectibles, but these aren't collectibles right now. These are just, it's just degen trading. I'm for one just tired of memes. I'm tired of I will jump into a meme if I think I can make money on it, but like I hate them, man. I really do. I just don't feel like they have no value whatsoever. They're not store values or nothing like that. Like you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just really tired of memes, and that's just kind of where we are right now. I think Pump Fun, and there's actually a correlation with the altcoin market and the launch of Pump Fun. You see Bitcoin kind of rising up, while the correlation between Pump Fun and the altcoins kind of just drops it down. Let me see if I can find that chart. I do remember somebody came up, but you have any last thing to say about BeraChain?
I'm bearish on it.
Yeah.
I feel
How was your
bearish on it.
experience though, like bridging in and all?
That stuff was pretty easy. It was
Yeah.
pretty chill. I feel like that they gave good instructions for that kind of thing. But like in terms of the just and look, it's really just the Panda Factory, which is their version of Pump Fun. Man, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And even the ones that did, like, at least on Abstract with Moonshot, like the ones that were first and bonded and graduated, like they had some sustainability for a little bit, right? Like I'm not seeing that at all over here. It's just really everybody's just trying to take everybody's money, and that's it. Like you can't even form a community really. Like that BM right there was the first one, and BM probably not the greatest ticker, but like it's like bear morning. So okay, cool. That could really kind of stick, and people like GM. So but like that's down to like lower than 300 grand, and it got all the way to like 3 million. And so to me, I was just like, oh, this is gonna be nasty over here, man. It's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, no, I agree. So here's the chart I was talking about. I was able to find it. So this was the launch of Pump Fun. This is Solana's TVL, and as you can see here, it's the top 25 alts. We're talking about like the top 25, and you can just see here they're on this like sideways trajectory and stuff like that. And then Pump Fun launched, and you've seen Solana TVL go up, but then everything else just go down, right? So this is pretty bad. Top 25 alts, exception the top 10. I don't know, but it's still pretty telling that was April of 2024. Seemed to be a smack in the face. So
yeah, well, and think about this too, right? So Pump Fun's making all those fees, right? So there was a day, there was a week where I think they made 15 million a day. That money's not coming back into our ecosystem. You compare this to even a crazy hectic 2021 bull market, which had a lot of liquidity flowing in with stimulus and all that stuff, but there wasn't like there was tokens that were launching frequently, but you had to add the smart contracts through Remix or whatever to, you know, create the liquidity pool and all that stuff. It was way more manual than the way that it is now, with like these basically factories, token factories that are just like one by one. Like even on BeraChain that was new with Panda Factory, it was coming every second. There was a new token coming in, right? Every token somebody loses money on, like whether that's $40 or $4,000. Like I'm talking about like a cumulative, right? And so imagine there's thousands of tokens that are already launched there, and it's going to continue. And that's just one platform. When you have like Pump Fund, which is that's like probably 1 million tokens a week, maybe more. I don't know. I'm just guessing, right? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Then you have Moonshot that's got like, you know, hundreds of thousands of tokens constantly, you know, eventually millions, right? And then you got now Panda Factory. Every chain has like another one. I mean, and Odin.fun is cool and all that stuff, right? But like it's also churning out like a bunch of tokens. Now, like where does that go? You know, some people that are using bots, probably some of it goes back in just to prop it back up, but then they're taking from the other people. It's just not healthy, man. There's nothing healthy about it right now.
But wait, there's more. Today we got the launch of 4.meme. 4.meme is BNB's Pump Fun.
Gosh,
it's just like one after this sucks so bad. Like I'm so tired of this, but everyone's trying to get a piece of the pie. You can't blame CZ, you can't blame Binance for this, right? So
yeah.
But you tell me that you don't want to go over here and play right now. You don't want to get a BNB while I fund it with some BNB and head over to 4 and play in their memes.
I mean, maybe. But here's the thing though, right? I wish that like so there have been some actual projects that launch in these kind of platforms and stuff. But you know, obviously they don't have control over the tokens, right? The tokenomics and stuff if they do that. So I think that's why not as many do that. But you know, it would be better if there was more like legitimate projects that earn revenue. You know, maybe there should be like another launch pad that's more for like that, you know, utility launch pad. Like if someone creates that now, how are you going to stop people from just bullshitting and saying, oh yeah, we're legit? At least that it will be known for that. You know what I mean? And so probably have a higher percentage of them. You know what I mean? And then you can do more research on them, and people won't maybe not jump at them as fast. They probably will still because there's freaking degen DNA in our space, but goodness, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it anymore.
I think I'm going to start focusing on crypto gaming. I think I'm going to really start digging in. I feel like that's like one sector that can really do well, especially with normies. And just kind of playing these games and seeing where I can earn and see how I can, you know, play to earn, right? I'm gonna start digging in, try to find them, and I hope someone builds something like that on Bitcoin as well. Because it could be fun. And there is some games on abstract. Exactly my point, right? Like when Foxy launches and stuff like that. So yeah, so I kind of definitely want to focus. We're actually streaming this Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern time, and then we're gonna start doing it every Tuesday with playing with Foxy's game and stuff like that. And Foxy is definitely gonna be earned play to earn as well. So I'm gonna be kind of pushing my stuff a little bit away from meme coin trading and into maybe some abstract gaming, because abstract seems to have like, I mean, tons and tons of games over there. So we're really gonna be pushing, you know, not pushing, but we're gonna go over there and just start seeing what I can rack up. And you know, that's one thing about abstract too, is you kind of earn that airdrop by playing over there, right? So even when you play the dApps, as long as you're interacting with the chain here and there, you're actually earning XP. So
yeah. Augustine Gray says, when Ord Rev gun coming out for Foxy? We've already inscribed all 3 of them, so they're on chain. You guys can take a look. We're just waiting for the right time with the team, as well as, you know, we just want to make sure that, you know, everything is ready and smooth once we do that. So don't worry, you know, you will get it if you are a member, and also if you have an Ordinal Revolution pass, you will get a mint. So just hang tight there. I know it's been a while. You know, probably I would say in the spring for sure. We won't probably go past that. So just that's something that you can kind of count on, is that, you know, by the springtime we will release this, and we're going to be working with the block runners to release it as well. So a lot of people are going to know about that.
If we released it right now, it just wouldn't do well, right? It would be, you guys would get it. And I can't blame you guys for, selling it for $30 or whatever. It's tough times right now. So, but in the future, we want to make sure this gun is usable. We want to make sure that the staking mechanism for that we're going to allow you guys to stake them right away is up and running and everything. So we're kind of just waiting for better times. But if we wanted to, we could get the staking up tomorrow. It's not really that. It's just really about, about launching the product and then a good time.
Absolutely.
But on a good note, we do have we're going to get Stone today. Stone's launches today. Will they mint out? Is there $1.2 million floating around for Leo right now?
Man, it's gonna be hard in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
But it's something that it seems that he's been planning for quite a long time. So I guess we just got to see if that's if that liquidity is here, right?
Yeah.
How are ordinals looking in general right now?
Really good question. Let's check it out. I know I saw Node Monkeys back in this $5,000 range last night. Yeah, and they're kind of, let's go to USD. Okay, they bounced back a little bit. They're 6.1, but the puppets are 5.3, 5,300. Quantum Cat's still staying strong at 24,000. Runestones at $269. Poor Traits at $60. This is down 20% on the day. OCM, On-Chain Monkeys, up 4%, and Pizza Pets up 10%. Base Angels down, and then Pizza Ninjas down to $6,000 as well. So yeah, not too great. I mean, a lot of them are getting really beat up. I wonder how the what is it? On-chain? No, the Ordinal Maxi Biz is doing. I'm probably passing them somewhere.
How do you feel about it? Do you think he can get that much?
No, not at all. I would be completely shocked if he got half. Like shocked. Yeah. I think he's going to make between 18 and 25%. And what he's going to do is he's probably going to airdrop the rest of the supply to the buyers. So I see these things going for like $25 to $50 in a day or two.
How much does the mint cost?
125.
Yeah, that's.
I think they'll be down.
I mean,
like
the stones are very detailed, and he's obviously
awesome.
He's obviously the artist behind Runestone, right? So everybody knows him as that guy. I just don't know if a collection like this. But I mean, like, when would he launch it, right?
Last April.
No. Last. When did Runestones drop?
April, or March.
Okay.
March.
Okay, so then probably April or May was probably been the best time to drop it. Honestly. Unfortunately, or now it's like wait till next April, or maybe this fall.
I would wait till you see No Monkeys back to 0.2. I would wait I would wait for bullish times for Ordinal. I would wait for potentially Ethereum to get back to $4,000. You know what I mean? Like I would wait for more time where there's liquidity's pumped in the system.
I wish you had more time. That's how I feel right now. Someone saying that to our whole space.
What do you guys think in the chat? I'd love to know your opinion on it. Does this mint out today? What do you guys think? So let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. I personally, I hope it does. I hope it does.
I mean, there's going to be some sort of attachment to it. We don't know what it's going to be, but like, it's not going to just be, end all be all. You minted a stone and that's it. Look, Rick G.
We thought there was stuff to it, but we found out this morning.
Well, I think there's going to be regardless. But Rick G says he's max minting stones. Oh, interesting. Do you know something that we don't?
He's loaded, bro. He's loaded. So we all wish we had the bags Rick G has.
I know, man.
I mean, the guy's still rocking a D God. I mean,
a Bitcoin
he's a legend, bro. He's a legend. There's a legend right there. Appreciate you, Rick G, man. And what is the max mint? I'm sure. It's 2 per wallet. Okay, and that's the thing too. I mean, he should just let you mint as many as you want. Like, hey, if you want to put $1,000 in this, you should be able to. Yeah. I would honestly be shocked, absolutely shocked, if this got to 25%. So, I mean, oh wow, hold on. How's it at 40%? I
Oh, it
mean,
already started. It already started.
No,
dude.
it starts in 5 minutes.
Oh, maybe pre-sale.
Oh, okay. Unless he's keeping 4,000. This makes
Was
no
it pre
sense.
Rick, was it pre-sale?
No, VIP whitelist. I mean, this is the number one. He was pushing 12 p.m. this entire time.
Pre-mined 4K for airdrops. Okay. That makes sense.
Oh, well, that actually makes more sense.
Actually, and
I had
it's
no
smart.
idea.
It's smart from
It is.
it's smart from a marketing perspective too. Like
Yeah.
you come into the mint and you're like, holy crap, like I need to get one.
Yeah.
40% gone.
That's true.
So,
Well, that actually makes me feel a little better about it. I didn't realize he's only selling 6,000. He said it's been 40% since yesterday. I think it mints out quick. Wow, Michael. So maybe we're just too bearish, bro. Maybe well, me. I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but maybe I'm just too bearish on this.
well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. He's connected,
Yeah,
obviously with some big people in the space, and we'll see how it does.
Yeah.
His first project did very well.
Yeah. Our last thing here is a tweet from Tap Protocol. He said, runes on Tap Protocol. Tap will deliver runes DeFi 2.0 to Bitcoin, and we'd love the runes community to be essential to this discussion. So, I had a tweet about, I want to say about 7-8 days ago at this point, and I basically told Fitzy, I was like, no one wants Tap tokens. No one's using these things. No one wants to do a transfer inscription. No one wants any of that bullshit that comes with the Tap tokens. Your standard sucks. You guys should just do runes. And then he came out and said, we've been working on this standard for a long time, months and months of, going into it. And I basically came out and I was like, well, you guys are going to waste Taproot Swap. Taproot Swap is freaking awesome. It's a on-chain swap. It's all decentralized, and you're wasting it on this shit protocol Tap. You guys should do something with it. And I'm just being honest, right? It's just my opinion.
But let me give you a little let me give you a little life tip here. Like, you try and convince somebody's mind, you probably don't like shit on their idea.
It works
just from the jump.
It worked.
It worked. I'll give you that. It did.
So sometimes giving someone the harsh truth, maybe it wakes them up. If you keep sugarcoating shit to everybody, like, oh, your project's awesome. No, it's not. It's not. No one's using it. I mean, no one's adding liquidity. It's not awesome. You need to either wake up or stop building it, right? And they definitely woke up. I think this is absolutely bullish for them.
Do you think it works though? Do you think it works?
I do. I don't think it works tomorrow.
It takes two to tango. And in this case, it's going to take.
I think you're going to see people taking liquidity from DotSwap, taking liquidity from RuneStacks, and actually going to earn this token. Because that's one thing too, is like, potentially you're going to be earning the Taproot Swap token and maybe Bitcoin on top of that. So I think that people are going to take advantage of these APYs, and I think the APY is going to be super high. Yeah.
So that's the thing. One thing I will say about Odin.fun, and I believe that they have this in the works, is that like the swapping and the LP over there is probably the best that we've had so far in terms of, .swap and all these, because like you earn actual Bitcoin, right? CK Bitcoin, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's Bitcoin, right? So it's the same, within 1 to 3% or something like that, right? So that's a lot. Okay, so let's say 1%. Okay, so my point that I'm making here is that, like, my I guess thinking, and the have reason why I think this way is that Bob's going to start adding legacy runes or runes to the swap, meaning that if I have $1 billion cat, let's say I have $5,000 $1 billion cat and $5,000 Bitcoin, I'm going to LP that over there if I can earn Bitcoin, because I know that like $1 billion cat can be a high volume swap, right? So if Dog does that, $1 billion cat does that, Pups does that, now you have a place where people are going to LP and people can get in and out of very easily because the LPers are making straight up Bitcoin. And that was the smartest thing that he did. And I think that that's what other swaps need to do. Charge Bitcoin for fees and then pay out your LPers in Bitcoin. Don't pay them out in Taproot Swap token. No one gives a shit about that token. Everybody gives a shit about Bitcoin. So do that, and I promise these swaps will gain popularity.
One problem with that, let's just say you're bullish on $1 billion cat, right? So you're going to LP it with Bitcoin. Let's just say Bitcoin goes up 10%, billion dollar cat goes up 900%. You have sold into Bitcoin every single pump. So if you're bullish on a token, supplying liquidity with Bitcoin is actually not bullish. It's actually a way to sell off that token. If you have a lot of it.
Wouldn't you rather it be in Bitcoin versus like anything else that's less like more risky?
If I'm bullish on the token, I'm not putting it up. Like for me, I would put Dog and Bitcoin because Dog is $300,000 market cap, right? And stuff like that. I would do that.
300 million.
But something like low, yeah, $300 million market cap, but something low on the totem pole like billion dollar cat, which is like 30 million, $25 million market cap. Putting it with Bitcoin, I would hate that. I would love an opportunity to put billion dollar cat and pups in an LP pool. And then earn fees off that. I would actually, that's where I would want to, because I believe they both kind of go up together. I don't like putting stuff up with Bitcoin.
And that would be a possibility as well, because they're still the platform's still earning the fees in Bitcoin, right? So you're getting your reward in Bitcoin, right? So it doesn't matter.
Well, no, because you won't get the reward in Bitcoin. You would get it in the tokens that's being traded.
No, it's why would you do that? Because the platform's earning, they're giving you part of their fees that they're earning
in Bitcoin.
Okay. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I would keep it that way. That way everybody can just add whatever, LPs they want, and you can create new ones and stuff like that. Right. Just keep it that way.
You have to, you would have to, because like normally what happens is in a lot of swaps is like they take it from the fees. Like if you it'll come from billionaire cat, right? So if like that's where the fee would come from. So you can actually potentially earn something like billionaire cat if they take that as fee.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Like that would be there's different ways of adding to different pools and stuff like that. So but we'll get into that another time, guys. It is officially 12 o'clock on Thursday, so you guys know what that means. It is officially Arch Thursday. Arch is building hopefully the savior, right? I think we're all kind of hoping that Arch kind of comes in and saves runes for us, saves our ecosystem, and really kind of lets us be trading how they trade on Solana, right? So basically they're using, the SVM model of trading to where you're going to be able to do everything that you like to do on Bitcoin, but in a Solana type environment, but everything finalizing on Bitcoin, which is secure, and everything else that comes with doing that. And that's why we're so bullish on Arch. And that is why we do Arch Thursdays, to kind of let you guys know the future and kind of get you prepared for that. So without further ado, let's bring in Nick from Arch.
Hey boys, how's it going?
I think we lost him. There you are.
What's up, Nick?
Hey boys, how's it going?
Going well. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me all right? I'm trying some headphones here.
You're good.
You're good.
Solid. It is great to see you. I missed you guys last week. It was sad.
Yeah. Likewise, man. You guys are always busy, trying to connect builders in your ecosystem to, with other builders, as well as getting them ready for testnet and eventually a mainnet that's going to be coming soon. But how are you able to kind of still stay focused on making sure the ecosystem is like on track, as well as your builder ecosystem, while Bitcoin kind of dumps hard, as well as like the rest of the crypto space is like basically like crying about everything? How do y'all deal with that?
Yeah. I mean, good question. And from a marketing perspective, it's definitely one I think about. But I also think, luckily we have projects that see the big picture, and we're not, building for, a quick launch, a quick, easy solution. I think there are a lot of shortcuts you can take out there to give like a seemingly Bitcoin programmability experience. And like what we're trying to do is something really innovative, a custom VM that, can't be built overnight. And so, that you're going to, have ups and downs. And there was kind of like that January dump, or the end of, the holidays dump that we already experienced. So, we're just focused on grinding. And as far as keeping our projects, in the loop, I mean, we're definitely working with them just hand to hand pretty much every day. And it's really just about having a clear vision, I think, of what it takes to have a vibrant DeFi ecosystem. And honestly, I think it's something that I want to keep getting better at, both as a marketing person, but also as me and Matt and, Mean and Brian and others, we're all really engage in the business conversation too. And I think we're realizing that you can't be everything to everyone, which, you know, is super important. And also from an app standpoint, like, you know, you've got to kind of see who are the ones who are really capable and can really be, you know, backing up what they say and build with us. And who are the ones that maybe, you know, you try and give them support, but, you know, they got to prove themselves a little bit because, you know, we don't have limited resources to really make this work. So that's kind of how I'm focusing on it.
Yeah. Definitely a good approach, I would say. You know, it's kind of like you know, you put your blinders on and say, okay, let's stay focused to the mission here. One of the rants of many rants that I went on earlier today on the show was, you know, kind of this PvP type of energy that's happening overall across the entire space, right? Bitcoin and the rest. You know, to be able to onboard like the everyday person, it's going to be really hard to do that, in my opinion. So do you think that we end up kind of going to where we always thought like the everyday like mass adoption is going to happen, or is it going to be like, you know, sophisticated people, institutions really that come into our space? How do you view that for the future?
I hope it's both. I hope that, you know, the mission of onboarding everyone, and you remember like the Coinbase ads that were running right last cycle, and like the feeling that like it was only a matter of time before people really were onboarded. But I think also you have to look at the kind of conversations we have in crypto, and sometimes it's like just silly, like how off base it is if that's the mission, right? You know, we, you know, argue so much about, and I think there's a lot of power in the specifics, but and sometimes it's like we're forgetting that like UX really matters, and we're forgetting that like accessibility really matters, and we're forgetting that, you know, especially for some use cases like shitcoin, meme coin trading, right? Like people expect to lose their bag anyway. So like, you know, is it so bad that you have like a moonshot like centralized solution like coming in order to get them onboarded into it, right? I don't think a lot of people have a problem with that per se, but it is interesting. It's like there's a usability problem that we have to solve, and I think, you know, eventually it's like no one, you know, it'll eventually be just like, you know, we're searching the web rather than, you know, using the internet, right? Like I have the internet, right? Like saying like, you know, I use crypto is eventually ideally going to be almost like just a weird thing to say, and I think that will be the sign of true mass adoption. But in the meantime, I'd say, you know, the retail does take its cue a bit from where investment is flowing. And there are a lot of games that are being played on blockchains to kind of use investor money or to LPs and things like that to kind of like gin up transaction activity, things like that, and gin up excitement. And it's tricky, but I don't think that the system gets bootstrapped without that at the same time. So I'm not sure what the right balance is. I just hope it is a balance, and I hope that we eventually do get to more mainstream adoption. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. And you're right though. It's going to get to a point where we don't even say use crypto. It's kind of like businesses barely even ask you to cash your card anymore. They just put the little scanner in front of you, and you can use your phone or your card. It's, you know, it's kind of all built in. We're all digital at this point, and crypto is just another form of being digital. And in the future, potentially, you know, that's how we're going to pay as well with crypto and stuff like that. But I would love to know what's going on testnet. How's it going? How are you guys feeling? Any bumps, any bruises, or any achievements lately?
I'd say like, you know, we're still doing great. You know, FunkyBit launched their meme coin launch pad, and that's been really fun. Obviously we saw like Bob Bodily built, and like there's a clear demand for that type of mechanism. So that's really exciting. And you know, I think yeah, just we're continuing to build. You know, we published an update to the main Arch ecosystem, the main Arch VM about a week ago. That was well received with our developers and you know, on our projects and things like that. You know, we're still racing toward, you know, having everything ready for mainnet. And I'd say too, what's really exciting is that we have some more projects that are launching. So this week we had Predictor Market, which launched. They'll probably come on next week to kind of show off the product a little bit, but you can check them out. Just like Poly Market, but on Bitcoin, which is cool, straight from your Bitcoin wallet. Transactions actually posted to Bitcoin and using Bitcoin assets, which is fun. And then we're also actually on this show, and you know, just published the tweet thread. You can share it in the comments if you want. But to Ching, is launching their borrow lend tools today, which is really exciting.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, so like, you know, when we brought Ching on, it was showing off kind of their reputation score last time, which was a few weeks ago, essentially like a credit score for on-chain activity. And what's just awesome is that Ching is now at the point where they can launch using Arch on the Bitcoin testnet. They can launch this borrow lend protocol that is really transformative. And one thing that, you know, is cool is it's primitive. I mean, we're eventually going to have like perp stacks and things like that that can do this much more easily, but you can actually do like loop lending, right? Or sorry, loop trading, right? With this. So you can actually do leverage trading on Bitcoin, you know, just like you would use Aave, where you would like transfer Bitcoin, you know, deposit Bitcoin, withdraw out a stable coin, and then essentially convert that to Bitcoin and put it back in the pool and just kind of loop that. You can do that now, and you'll be able to do that with your native Bitcoin once we're on mainnet. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and the site for Ching is ching.digital. Is that what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. Ching.digital. And, you know, we'll have Ferks later on the show, I believe, so he can kind of give us a demo and really, you know, that's just a sneak preview. But I'd say it's super exciting, and, you know, what Arch is doing here. And I think, you know, where we're at too is we're at a really interesting place, because I think we're carving out a niche that people aren't always aware of. But, you know, a lot of these projects that are launching are showing the desire for this type of activity and, you know, true DeFi and Bitcoin, but it's not truly like anchored on Bitcoin. It's more like L2 solutions or centralized solutions. And what's really fun about what we're doing is, while those projects might also have like multi-sigs and things like that, we've got this like frost roast framework that's really productive, really robust. But also we actually chain and anchor every single transaction we do to Bitcoin state. So, you know, if you're using something like Bob Bodley's new platform, right, you're essentially depositing into it your Bitcoin and then letting that network like basically interact in there. And then the only other Bitcoin transaction that happens is when you withdraw, right? Which is pretty normal for like a Photon type solution too on Solana and things like that, right? What we're doing is actually much more than that. Essentially, every transaction that's done in every app, so you can also create it in app dependent ways. Every transaction is done is in communication with the Bitcoin state. So you can actually never have to worry about whether or not those things are in contradiction. It also makes sure that we're able to kind of speed up the process while still maintaining Bitcoin congruency, right? So it's pretty cool stuff, and really excited about it.
And that's the one problem with Odin is I have to deposit, right? I got to sit there
That's
and
right.
you know, Bob said it was one block, but with Arch and Funky Bit, I'm not gonna have to do that, right?
That's right. You're not gonna have to deposit. You know, if you want to like earn yield or stake or something, like you can do that, and that requires like depositing in the sense like
Yeah,
you're not
that's
actually
normal,
even you're not depositing into the Arch network. You're actually just basically giving permission for it to hold on to it, essentially. But yeah, like it's super cool, and we're excited about it. So definitely, even though the runes market is dead and it's been a struggle, and I know a lot of people are rending their garments in the streets, you know, I think that it's been nice to see stuff like Odin launch and some of the excitement around some recent Ordinal launches that are coming up. And I think that's good. And I think this will get us through the time until Arch is on mainnet and creates a real reason for people to be super excited.
Yeah, man. Are we still on pace for Arch launching mainnet in a couple like weeks, months? What are you thinking? I know it's a when question.
I did
I'll
get
just-
some. It's okay. That's okay. I did get some updates from our devs, and of course, like there's, you know, the security aspect where you just go through your typical security audit, things like that. I would say that we may have one of our apps going live to mainnet actually before the others, which is pretty exciting. I'm not gonna. I mean, let's just say things might get funky a little bit sooner, you know,
Oh, nice.
in terms of mainnet. So that's exciting. But
Let's go.
but like we'll see, you know, I guess Andrew can give you the timeline on that. But as far as the full network, we're looking at probably end of March now, early April is kind of what we're thinking. But
Yeah, that's
you know,
kind of what
again,
I've always
we'll see.
assumed. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
end
always
of
assumed
Q1 is what we were
Q2.
telling people. Yeah, so end of Q1, beginning of Q2 is basically the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is good though that like you're right that the energy, at least it seems like other parts outside of the Bitcoin ecosystem want to kind of support runes. So that's a good thing for you guys, you know, as well, because, you know, runes is one of the big parts that you guys are going to be supporting as well. So I think that's a good sign because, you know, a couple months ago, you had people in our Bitcoin ecosystem basically saying, you know, there's nothing going on over here, no names or anything, but you know, complaining about how boring it is over here. And then they venture off and realize that the grass isn't always greener, right?
Yeah.
You know, and they say,
Yeah.
oh, well, let me go back. The grass wasn't great over there, but it's definitely not as bad as over there. So yeah, I think that they're, you know, the builders are head down in the Bitcoin ecosystem. I'm looking forward to the next 3 to 6 months because we might have to wait another month and a half, 2 months, but you know, it should hit stride, in my opinion, 3 to 6 months from now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that timeline probably makes a lot of sense. But I've also, you know, you look at the traditional like history of Bitcoin, right? And you've got, you know, Bitcoin that like leads the market rush, and then eventually it maybe stabilizes, and then you have the alt season, right? But I've been reading some really interesting things that talked about how right when the alt season typically would have started was right when Pump.Fun launched, and when that kind of sucked up all the oxygen, right? And I think tricky part about that too is like, you know, when all of like maybe the top 100 or top 200 alts would have like seen a rise, it was all being spent on Pump.Fun and all being burnt in Solana. And you know, it's like, you know, it drew a lot of attention to this space. Like, don't get me wrong, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, so I think we are experiencing, you know, it's like they always say, like, you know, you gotta be careful about, you know, having enough data to actually draw conclusions, right? And like we all kind of assumed like this is how the flow would go, and then Pump.Fun disrupted that in some ways, perhaps, right? So I'm thinking something like, with that in mind, like we may or may not have an alt run, but I think a lot of predictions have been that, you know, Bitcoin assets, you know, derivative assets, or, you know, not derivatives, but UTXO based assets like runes and ordinals, that they probably are actually going to be the last part of the market. Really, and this was even when things were more bullish across the board. People were thinking that runes or ordinals would really take off at the end as people moved away from those other sections. So that's still kind of what I'm expecting. And honestly, I'm fine with it because I want to time our launch, you know, when things are going to be cooking and not necessarily when things are dead. So, yeah, you know, we'll see.
100%. I guess my last question before we get to the builders here is, will Arch have a Super Bowl commercial? Because my Eagles, I'm in Philly. We're playing the Super Bowl. See, well, I see an Arch Super Bowl commercial, and if not this year, maybe next year.
I actually decided against paying for anything like that. But my resolution instead was to get free commercial by streaking actually across the field in the middle during halftime.
Genius.
So you can't pay for that level of exposure, like literally, right?
Well,
so
well, you got to pay the bail. Someone's got to pay the bail.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll come out of the marketing budget, but $1,000 is way cheaper than $1 million. I'll say that.
Exposure is exposure, baby. Exposure,
Yeah.
you know,
especially that kind of exposure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There we go.
What do you think? Eagles or Chiefs? Who you got?
Oh man.
Don't pick his team.
Yeah.
Don't pick his team. They're gonna lose.
You know, oh man, I'm conflicted on this one because I like what the Chiefs have done. I love Andy Reid. I know, like, you know, it's like I typically would not root for like the evil empire, which they've kind of become, but there's something about seeing greatness, man. And, you know, I'd rather be on the side of the empire if they're, you know, greatness, right? Than a bunch of rebels that get shot down in the street. So, but I think it's going to be a good game regardless. This is going to be a close one.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's kind of get to the builders here. We got Funky Bit down there. We got Hex down there, and we got Ching. Which one should we go first?
Let's bring Andrew up. He was first here. So, oh, you want to go Ching first?
Yeah, let's go to Ching since that they have the announcement here and the new features that they're going to show off.
All right. Fergus, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution.
GM. Thank you so much, Shizzy, Yagobi. How's it going?
Going well,
man. How are you?
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Always been a pleasure. So, a lot has been happening in terms of development on Arch and Ching. So, last time, if you remember, I showed you like a little bit of a demo of how we're going ahead with the app. But today, I think we'll just make this announcement that Ching is full on ready, right? So I'll be showcasing the entire flow of the platform to you guys here on this podcast, and we're going live right now as we talk. So we decided to go
Wow.
live podcast,
Wow.
so that we reach like maximum audience and people actually understand the flow and stuff, right? So do you want me to share the screen?
Yeah, feel free.
You already.
Go ahead.
Oh,
That's
I
me.
thought that was
He
okay.
can share his.
So this is live for testnet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
And expect the mainnet soon, pretty soon, right? So just let me know if you are able to see the screen.
Yeah, I can grab it.
All right.
All right.
You can, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. Cool. So like we said, like Ching is gonna be the first ever like the decentralized bank on Bitcoin, right? Please don't mind my voice because I was a little down this week, so might
No
face
worries.
a little issues. Yeah. So we're the first bank on Bitcoin. We're actually like an Aave style peer-to-pool lending platform, right? And we all know why this is really exciting for the entire Bitcoin ecosystem, right? It has like numerous reasons to it, right? Like one of them is like users can now earn interest, they can withdraw instant loans, and they can leverage natively with their own Bitcoin assets, including runes, right? So, and also like various DeFi applications on Bitcoin can now tap to its full liquidity by working with each other, right? So that was the whole concept. I think the last time I gave you like a walkthrough of the website, we've made a little bit of tweaks here and there. But yeah, peer-to-pool lending, this is what chatting is all about. So let me just launch the app. I'll choose Unisat Wallet, just sign the ownership, and boom, right? So this is the faucet that you can change. So over here, these are my assets to supply, right? These are the assets that I can borrow. Over here, my borrowed assets will come up here, and my supplies, that is the assets that I actually stake on the platform, right? So let me just start with supplying some TBTC, right? Let me do that. So I'm just gonna click on supply, and I'll just supply, say, 0.69 BTC, and I'll approve it. So it'll ask me for the signature, right? You can go through the entire inputs and outputs and the PSVD data as well. And it should be ready any moment. So we're just facing like some issues with the mempool because it's like not accepting transactions very frequently, but it should be done pretty soon, right? So till this is done, what I can do is I can just check my transactions over here. It shows that it's in progress, right? So once it's like on the mempool, you'll be able to see your transactions that happen over here, and the same will be showcased on the dashboard as well, right? So let me just try supplying this one more time. 0.69.
So you're supplying Bitcoin to the pool?
Yep. I'm just supplying going to the pool so that it can be used as collateral, and then I can borrow assets against it. So here, boom, the transaction is successful now. So if I can just click on it here, I can see it on the mempool. It'll just get confirmed, and my assets will just be visible on the dashboard here, right? Oh, it's already there. See,
so are you earning interest right away off of what you supplied?
Yes, you are. But the thing is, you provide that to a pool, but the borrower needs to borrow your supplies as well, right? If there are no borrows happening, you won't earn interest. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna have like major borrowing scenes over here because it's directly on Bitcoin, right? So you can see the supplies here. It'll just go through any moment, right? And this was the previous one actually that was still in progress. If I go to view transactions, I can see two, right? One is in progress and the other one is unconfirmed. It's still on the mempool, right? So till that happens, let me just go back and try and borrow some assets, right? So we just created our testnet rune Ching BTC Bank, right? So let me try and just borrow this asset. So let me do like
But
50.
even if it's not confirmed on a mempool, it's still confirmed in Arch, right? So I'm still able to do what I need to do in Arch without it confirming.
Yeah, because it will definitely come,
Yeah.
right? Once it's on the mempool, it's like a confirmation that, hey, this is going to come for sure. And since we have our pools maintained, so you can just borrow directly from the pool. That's the whole beauty of peer to pool, right? It's very different from peer to peer. From peer to peer, you just wait for the transaction, wait for the borrower and the lender to sign it, and then it's like a very cumbersome and a very lengthy process. So this is what just cuts the entire thing. So let me just borrow 50% of what I actually supplied, right? So you guys are very familiar with how Aave actually works, right? So
Yeah.
the amount of collateral that you keep, based on that, you get your you can borrow your assets, right? So let me just borrow like 50% of whatever I did. Click on borrow. I'll sign the transaction. Borrow requested. Please wait for confirmation, right? So I can just go back to the transaction. Yes.
Typically on like Aave, you wouldn't be able to borrow 100%. Though it would have to be like 80% typically, I believe. That's still true here, right?
Yes, correct. So that those calculations are being tweaked regularly and rigorously because we don't want any losses, right? And we don't want the people who stake their assets on the pool, they should not face any losses, and vice versa as well, right? So just
Of course.
to mitigate the risk, I think this is like super important, right? So that's why our the added layer of on-chain reputation that you can see over here, that adds up the value, right? So I can get my load down over here, right? I think I showed it to you the last time, right? You can just get like a decent score based on whatever assets are there in your wallet, and so my score is like 85, so that's like pretty good, right? So yeah, so based on that, my interest rates for borrowing will be lesser than the other guys who have like a lesser score, right? So that's how it's going to work. And if I back to our transactions here, okay, so this has been rejected by the mempool. So this is like the problem. Actually, this is a problem on the testnet that we're facing. It's the testnet 4 issue. So you'll have to go back and do it one more time, right?
I think it's really cool though that you can see this all. Like you can check real quickly the transactions. If it doesn't go through, you can just do it again. It
Yeah,
works pretty
sure.
quickly.
For sure, we just try to make it as snappy as possible because we want actual users to just use this product and just leverage this to the maximum potential. So we just try to make the UI extremely simple and very engaging, and sorry, people should actually love using the product. That was our entire.
So yeah, and Shizzy, you made a good point about how like, oh, so I can do this, without having to wait for Bitcoin blocks, essentially. And I think this is really interesting because it's like, okay, how does Arch do that? Well, if we were just like taking transactions off chain and working on another chain through some centralized sequencer or through some sort of other product, then we would just be doing that, in a centralized way off chain, right? But actually, what we've done here is by adopting an accounts-based model, which is similar to what Solana does, we're actually able to state chain. So we're able to chain transactions to each other. What does that mean? It essentially just says that like this transaction is dependent on this other transaction. And so if for some reason the first transaction gets it gets rejected, it gets RBF'd on the Bitcoin block, right? That it can unravel all the transactions that happened as a result of it, right? So what does that mean? Okay, if I deposited in this, right, and I tried to withdraw against it, but then the deposit I initially did gets rejected on Bitcoin, the Bitcoin block fails, right? Then it will actually undo the transactions that I was able to kind of speed up and do, right? And that's that rollback mechanism we've talked in the past. But that's very different because what we're essentially doing is we're actually being aware with every single transaction, not only just the base layer ramifications, like what's happening on Bitcoin, but also what, I guess, dependencies are created on different transactions that would need to be rolled back if a block fails on Bitcoin, right? And that's really cool. I mean, that's why building the Arch VM hasn't been like it's been about a year, or we're reaching a year soon, and like that's why it's something that's more complex than like strapping something together in a few months.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, this is one of the reasons why we actually went all in on Arch, right? Because like you rightly mentioned, it's possible because of the secure, composable, and decentralized UTXO smart contracts that are enabled by building the Arch VM, right? So that is the game changer for us also over here. So yeah.
So these borrows haven't come through yet, is that right?
Yeah, they got rejected one more time, but let me just
try a TBTC instead, because I wonder if it also could it have anything to do with the fact that you're trying to borrow. Yeah, okay. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, so it can be because of the number of tokens in the pool as well. So let me try doing a smaller transaction, right? So this time I put like say around 1,000 of these Ching BTC Bank tokens. So let's see, because the pool has to suffice the order, right? If I go for like 100% of my assets and the pool doesn't have that, so it won't go through as well. So I'm assuming it's related to that as well. This is unconfirmed, right? So this went on the mempool because so what I guessed was right. So it looks like more people need to stake their assets, guys. Let's do it.
Gotcha. I have a question then. Will this be incentivized testnet or not yet?
I mean, that's debatable, but I think it will be incentivized. It will be incentivized.
We're working on that. We actually are just working on an API to track the transactions. So we thought it'd be ready today, but looks like it'll probably be sometime next week. So
Gotcha.
yes, so people will get points automatically in the Arch system. Probably will launch the mission in the dashboard next week, and they'll get it automatically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so I'd request everyone to just wait for the big announcement that's coming on. It'll be pretty soon.
Awesome. You heard that, guys. Our guy Danny was upset today. He's doing the BeraChain testnet for a month, 2 months, and he basically got nothing. So I was telling him, to keep your heads up. Arch got your back, man. So I'm curious how it's going to happen, right? So.
I mean, Nick's giving out a ton of money, I guess. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
There's a reason my girlfriend's family calls me Saint Nick. Let's just say that.
Do they really? That's kind of weird, though. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Saint
I
Nick?
treated them. I treated them to dinner once. For her graduation party, and I earned a reputation. Let's just say that.
Gotcha. All right.
Yes,
To Ching, Farouk, man, thank you so much.
I can see the borrows here. It just came up. So yeah, I just put like 1,000 of these tokens, and now it's showing in my borrows. And I can instantly repay. I can withdraw my TBTC. It's all happening right in front of your eyes, guys. It's all live. And
gotcha.
Peer-to-peer lending on Bitcoin is possible. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, and again, guys, remember there's a kind of a social credit aspect to this. Oh my gosh, my biggest hero ever, Mr. Yin, Japanese businessman, is bullish on Ching. But anyhow, there's a social score aspect to this. So this is where kind of the traditional side comes into, good financial tooling, guys. This is stuff that we need. This is stuff that's refreshing to see this. So super excited. I'm definitely going to mess with it on testnet and can't wait till you roll this product out on mainnet.
For sure. More coming up, guys.
Yep. Any last words or anything, Perks, for the audience? Maybe expectations or anything?
Yeah, I mean, so you guys are not ready for what's coming. Definitely. we got like big and huge plans. We're like the OG builders in the space, and we've shipped like numerous products before, but this one is definitely gonna blow your mind. And we can see this used in like different domains, like be it IRL, be it virtual, because 99.7% of the Bitcoin is it's lying idle, unstaked due to lack of non-custodial and smart contract mechanisms on Bitcoin, right? So that's what we're here for. We're leveraging, Turing complete smart contracts with trust minimized execution on native Bitcoin, right? And that's, I think, the need of the hour. And we're here to ship, man. We're here to build. Just wait for
Let's
it and
go.
wait for the announcement.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, and appreciate Arch for bringing us this segment. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shizzy, Yagobi. You guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll
buddy.
talk soon.
Chat.
Oh, sorry. Cut them a second too short. But thank you so much, guys. We do have a couple more builders to go through. Where should we go next, Nick?
I think he might have.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Whichever way you want to go, Saturn or Funky Bit, they're both, I think, ready, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to do ready. Let's bring Andrew up from Funky Bit. So to give the audience a little rundown real quick, we had Andrew on before. Funky Bit is going to bring that pump fun kind of fun to the Arch network and Bitcoin ecosystem as well. So let's reintroduce Andrew to you guys again. Andrew, how are you doing?
Gentlemen, great to be on. Thank you very much for having me, and it is great to see you. So
Great
thanks
to
for
see you as well.
And I was going to say, what was I on? Like about a little over a month ago, right?
Yeah.
And I follow you guys pretty closely, and I follow Shizzy very closely. And it made me a little sad because in the interim, I felt he was hating on meme coins a little bit between then and now. But
I'm struggling. I keep losing.
Yeah, I know. It's
I need to hit a winner.
Tough environment. I don't blame you. But we're, Nick and Arch are here to save the day, is what I'm banking on. But so in all seriousness, I'm still pretty bullish on the prospect. Murad keeps talking about we're going to have the $100 billion meme coin eventually. And, if we're going to have a $100 billion meme coin, it's going to be one place, and it's going to be on Bitcoin, right? So hopefully it's going to be on Arch as far as I'm concerned, but it's not going to be on some shit chain. If you have a $100 billion coin, it's going to be on Bitcoin. So yeah, it has been tough times. I am here to express solidarity, Shizzy, and to bolster myself up as well as you at the same time.
Yeah.
So maybe
I'm an investor, not a trader, right? So when it's a trading environment, when you can't hold these things for more than a week, I'm going to lose constantly because it's not my style.
Oh yeah. It's easy to say you're going to be like a tough trader when like you're buying them, and then everybody says that, and then when you're down 50%, all of a sudden it just doesn't. You don't feel the same way that you did when you bought them. And I know I've been there a long time, having traded for a long period of time. But maybe I could give you an update on like the latest on our end since we last spoke. So Nick, what was it like? Maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we launched our meme coin launchpad on Arch, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yep.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks, and it's been a fantastic experience so far. I can only describe it. It's really it's funny because it's just fun, right? So it's cool doing like cross-chain swaps and stuff. But when you actually launch a meme coin launchpad and you have users, putting up their own meme coins instantly, it's just a lot of fun. And we've had so far, since we launched, which was just a few weeks ago, we've had users create 10,000 coins, and we have had 6 million coin transactions. Those are actual users, cross-chain transactions over the course of those 2 to 3 weeks. And I just want to say, what was the first thing that we realized we had to do after we got the meme coin launchpad up, which was we had to immediately go out and get an AI NSFW filter because the coins that people were producing were not fit for.
Andrew, I was wondering that. Where's my boobs coin? There was like,
did that one disappear?
That one was just cleavage. Is
Yeah, no, it's great
cleavage is
because
not allowed?
Nick and his team produced a video of like how to just like a sort of a tour on their account of, and basically one of them was a boobs coin that they were. I was like, nice, yeah, great, goes for everybody. So anyway, it's been so far. It's been, I would just say, really, really pleasant experience. As Nick mentioned, UX is so important, and Arch really allows us to confer that UX. That beautiful UX on people, and I think they're responding. So we're super excited about that. Everything's been really, really smooth. Same old story with the Arch team. Great support. Of course, I'm saying it because Nick is on here, but it has the additional virtue of being true. So all of that is fantastic.
Sorry.
And I'm happy to take any questions on that, but I think it's pretty straightforward. And maybe I can, I'll pause a moment, but I'd like to give you sort of, if it's okay, my view of what's important to make an application like this work.
Yeah.
So to me, everybody talks about, oh, it's got to be fast, it's got to be cheap, it's got to be, MEV resistant, you can't get bricked in an order book, which happened to all of us. And all of those things are important. They're super important, but I would describe them as necessary, but not sufficient. Okay. Because what we really need, right, is we need to, what the purpose of all that is to increase the size of the communities who are participating in these runes and the like. And to put it kind of in perspective for everybody, okay, the total number of tokens that are produced on pump.fun is 4 million, okay? The total number of holders of dog is 100,000. So there have been 40 more times coins that have been produced as there are holders of dog. And so what that tells you is, right, that community is just orders and orders and orders of magnitude larger than the community that we have on Bitcoin now. And what we have to do is figure out how we can build that community in our community. It's not going to happen just through technology, right? Technology is necessary, but it's not going to get us there. And one of the things, and when we think about this, I would say two things come to mind for me. The first is, I think, once again, I hate to compliment the guy because he's right here, but Nick and his team have done an amazing job of building community on Arch. It's really a super engaged and frankly, large number of users who really see the potential and sort of how it's going to be great. And so we're happy to be associated with Arch because that's going to help us a lot. But the other thing that I think is really important from a Funky Bit specific perspective is that, and you may remember this from the last time I was on, the fundamental architecture that we've built on top of is this high performance cross-chain liquidity application that connects Bitcoin to other chains. So we're connected already on testnet to Base. And when we go to mainnet, we will be connected to Solana as well. And so what we're going to be doing, or what we intend to be doing, and what we're already starting to do, is to source users from the community where they have 40 times as many coins as Dog has holders. Because I think as a community, a Bitcoin community, the technology is not going to save us just by ourselves. What we have to do is to actually go and tell people in these other communities that are much more vibrant. We just have to admit that they've succeeded, right? They're super vibrant. And we have to go, hey, there's something over here that might be different and some aspects might be better for you. For some of the things that you might want to do. And so our goal, our mission is to import those users, users and communities and capital into runes. And we do that in our application by our liquidity pools aren't denominated in Bitcoin. They're denominated in USDC. So it's very fast and you're using fiat effectively. You don't have to burn your Bitcoin, which people get very uptight about, to buy shit coins, right? And you can buy in Bitcoin if you want, you can buy in USDC, or you can transact in Solana. And the people transacting in Solana can do so out of their Solana, their like Phantom wallets. And so, That's our thing. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to echo you because you hit on some really good points. But the biggest thing is that there is an appetite for this in the Solana ecosystem, especially. So you can think of what Arch is doing as creating a global state machine for Bitcoin. So kind of that model that works so that you can handle all these interoperable apps. But there's an appetite even for runes specifically in Solana, where I was just talking to the guys from Wasabi who are building a product on us, and what they've done is they created these pools, and people are able to do perps lending and perps trading and things off of them, right? Well, those perps, those pools require having a pair, right, a pairing, and they have gotten a huge amount of demand for specific runes that are in the Sol ecosystem. So pups, BDC, I believe ciphers over there, I believe some others, right? So they told, because I asked them, I'm like, what got you interested in this? Like, what made you, and they were like, it is actually like one of the most requested things that we're getting is a pool that would allow us to do this. Now, this is specifically in Sol with these like bridged over rune pairings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they are also building with us to bring something that's Bitcoin native as well to make that actually even more seamless and more successful.
Right.
So there's a huge appetite for this.
Right. And if I can use, an old metaphor, you want to bring the mountain to Muhammad, right? I mean, basically what's going on here is, as we all know, there was a little kerfuffle a couple weeks ago when a couple of guys from the Bitcoin community did something in Solana, right? I don't really think that's going to play well ever with the Bitcoin community going forward. But I do think that there are plenty of people in Solana who are meme heads who will be happy to play in our pool if we can make it easy for them and that it's a good user experience. And that's our view. We're not exporting capital out. We want to import capital in. And that is kind of our whole gig. So just basically bottom line is technology is great. Community wins. And that's what you have to do. You have to take your technology and make it work for the communities you need. And we need those communities, I think, to make runes work. That's our whole philosophy.
I absolutely agree, because does anyone really understand what BeraChain does? But they have some sort of community right now. That community might not be very happy with them anymore, but they had some sort of community, had some sort of culture, right? So, but technology is critical in what differentiates what Arch is doing, for example, and it's worth doing right. But you also have to build culture, and that's the first introduction to it.
Yeah. And so the biggest problem with runes, biggest problem with runes right now, and so something that FunkyBit actually fixes, is the fact that when we go to something like Luminex or Orda.io, we're actually just giving our money to the miners, and that money never actually comes back. Right. That's so right. With FunkyBit and these pump.fun models, what I'm doing is I'm actually giving it to the LP pool. Correct? That's like the real big push.
100%. Yeah, 100%, Shizzy, for sure. Yeah, it's a much better model. I mean, I think we even discussed this last time, which is Casey's mint of Memento. I mean, it was totally cool, but I think the miners got paid $4 million. I mean, as I said at that time, we got to support the miners, but if we keep supporting them that way, they'll be the only guys left standing.
I'm at the point now where I'm like, F the miners. Like, they don't do anything for us, right? We've been paying them for over a year and a half now.
They secure the chain, though.
They secure the chain to get paid. That's their revenue model, right? They're already getting paid for securing the chain. Maybe in the future they won't, but as of right now, they get paid for that. Yeah. So it's kind of like, and they don't do anything for our ecosystem whatsoever.
Yeah,
besides keep it working. But
in any event, the answer isn't like Runes minters paying them $4 million. That's exactly. I can safely say that's not sustainable.
Yeah. Well, they were making a ton of money in 2020 when fungibles first came over, but you're right. That's part of the reasons why I think the liquidity didn't stay really in, right? But we have solutions like this now. So, what do you think of an idea? Because the pump fund model is not going to go away. I'm excited to get into FunkyBit. I complain about it, but I always kind of end up going back to that, just to have fun when I'm bored, right? Do you think there will ever be kind of like a startup type of launch pad as well that's more geared towards like utility projects or stuff like that, to where it kind of balances out. Like then maybe FunkyBit can have that side as well. Hey, you want a DJ and come over to FunkyBit. If you want to, you know, invest in projects that maybe have had a little bit of vetting or whatever, then there's this launch pad for that. Kind of a not GoFundMe, but like, you know what I mean, like a startup kind of situation.
Right.
Do you think that could exist?
No, if I get my facts wrong here, I apologize. But I mean, I think, you know, it's a great point, but it seems like some of that's already happening, right? So for example, I know that, you know, Solana a couple months ago had that AI hackathon.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that like half the projects out of that hackathon went direct to fair token launch with some, you know, pre-buy by insiders on Pump Fund. And so that's a great example of what you're talking about right there, which is that they used the platform and those guys got, you know, they basically retained some tokens. That's what they fund the business with, and apparently got great reception. But I'm speaking secondhand now. I haven't followed it closely. A couple of people who are involved in the ecosystem closely told me about it. And I think that's a great idea. And it might not even require another product, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can select utility or meme
right
before they launch the token.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I think that makes total sense. I'd say, you know, we got to take a little baby steps here in the Bitcoin ecosystem first with regards to these meme coins, because as you're probably aware, also there have been a couple of Runes utility tokens that have been launched by super solid teams like Trio and Liquidium, and those guys are amazing. And I think their tokens completely do not reflect the value of those projects and those guys who are working on them.
Very true.
Agreed, 100%. Well, thank you, Andrew, man. We appreciate your time. And again, we'd still have to do a full episode with you. Kind of, I want to hear your background and everything you've done before and kind of lead us up to FunkyBit. So I'm going to send you our calendars so we can get that scheduled, man. I can't wait for that.
Let's do it, guys. Thanks again. Always a pleasure. Really appreciate the time. Ciao.
Appreciate you. Talk later.
Absolutely awesome. We got one more guest for you guys. Let's bring them up. We got Hex. I think it's your third or fourth time on the show. Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution, Hex.
Yo, how we doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna go ahead and start off this segment by saying I'm completely opposed to F the miners sentiment. If you are a miner out there, please continue mining Bitcoin. Otherwise, you're gonna turbo wrecked. So take all the monies that you can.
Yeah, to my point there, it was kind of just like, I hope the miners create something that brings revenue here, right? I hope that they actually build here and not just take from us, right? Like that will change my mind to that. I'm okay with getting the miners, getting the hash rate up and all that good stuff, but I think they should build here as well if they're going to just extract.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's
I was going to say, let me say this real quick. So you're basically going to someone's house and saying, you've been doing the same thing over and over, but we've done something new, but you got to change. You know what I mean?
No, it's not that. It's like, if you want to keep getting our money, you guys need to help us as well. Right.
But
so we're actually giving them millions and millions of dollars.
I get that.
I get that. But
that's our choice to do that.
But hold on. But that's going to stop on stuff like Arch and FunkyBit if they don't start building here as well. Right. Yeah. So we're basically giving them an ultimatum here where it's like, build, or we're going to find solutions that you might not like. So,
I mean, we are, like, whether you are for it or not, we are unfortunately anchored to Bitcoin. And if the show stops with Bitcoin, I think the show stops, full stop.
Yeah, but it's not going to stop, though. That's what the reward of Bitcoin is. I'm just saying, like, maybe the runes or BRC20 stuff may slow down for them.
I personally am of the belief that the biggest issue that we have right now is miners aren't incentivized enough. And without a competitive enough mining pool, you run the risk of a 51% attack. And if we have a 51% attack, the value of Bitcoin is really zero. It undermines the whole point of Bitcoin. So you do need that competitive landscape.
Yeah, I mean, right now, man, there's less than 1% chance of that ever happening because the miners are just so split up, and it's very, very profitable. Even at these prices, just Bitcoin alone.
You would be surprised. I mean, in every 4 years, it gets twice as hard. We've obviously got Corman as one of our investors, and they do a fantastic job here. And I think one of the most helpful ways of understanding the mining industry is to view them as energy companies. And it really comes down to profit and loss for them. Can they get enough energy in to mine this Bitcoin? And every 4 years, that becomes twice as hard to justify. And I think the only way that we can kind of offset that risk every 4 years is with ecosystem activity and paying miners and having these events. And I think obviously the LP model, like we were saying with the Memento Mori situation, yeah, that's a terrible model of how we have it. It's incredibly inefficient and resulted in token price.
That was just kind of my point. Exactly.
Yeah. I think we're all aligned on that for sure. But I think there is just it comes from a consistent ecosystem activity, and that comes from useful products. But yeah, there are obviously big pitfalls to the current model.
I think it'd be cool to have them in our corner too whenever we bring volume up. You know what I mean? Like just kind of rooting for us and being like, hey, we like these guys because they, at least that would be cool.
So Shizzy, you should talk to CB Spears about this.
Yeah, we've talked to him many times. Yeah.
Has he talked to you about Bitcoin mining and all that? Because he mines actually. So.
Yeah, we had him on the show a few times. We talked to him about it. And
okay, I was just talking to him.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, I've got mining. It's a shit business, so he probably But
could you imagine if the miners start creating here? If they started building here in Bitcoin and Ordinals and stuff like that, how successful they would be, and then take that profit back to their mining.
And I will say this: we've actually been talking to a lot of miners about ways that we can align interests and potentially create some products around them too. Like, the thing about having actual DeFi programmability that is fast and actually able to access multiple resources is that you can create complex financial instruments that actually return value, to investors and to miners. And I think it's a win-win. Hex might know more about that than I do even, but I just think that there are a lot of opportunities here.
Yeah, definitely. I think like for specialist products as well, there's already collaborative relationships going on. There are miners that are showing that wanting to step more into this action. But again, it's a capitalist business. They're only going to do it if it makes them more money, and this does make them more money. So it's a bit of a win-win scenario. But yeah, keen to. It's an all hands on deck effort. But I think, I think it is a fair comment that from the mining side of things, there has been a bit of kind of blissful naivety to the kind of long-term sustainability of this. And you saw that with a huge selling off with American Bitcoin mining stocks as people were kind of extrapolating this industry. So I think like these solutions will kind of be forced into reality, and it is cool to see them starting already.
Yeah, 100%. And that's because kind of my thing. I just wish the miners would actually, maybe build here as well and kind of maybe help us create fees for them. Right. That's just kind of my argument on that. But let's kind of jump into what you're building with Saturn. How's everything going, man? How's the testnet? And it's been a few weeks. I would love to know maybe some updates.
Hey, the last week has been amazing. So I'm not sure if Nick mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but we've actually got Marcos, our head dev at the moment, helping out on the Arch side. So he pushed 2 really big fixes to the Arch network last week, which are amazing, related to the rollback issue. So what's been happening is every time we have a issue on the Arch side, it kind of resets the pool because the rollback's not working super properly, which is again why we had this testnet phase. But yeah, all of the guys on the Arch side as well have been really hustling over the last few weeks and got that over the line. And yeah, we haven't had a single issue with the rollback since, which is amazing. So we can now move away from working on Arch network and move back onto working onto Saturn network, or the Saturn product rather. Which has been amazing. We're making a lot of progress there. I guess I can use this as a little time to soft announce something coming up. So we built another indexer, the Titan indexer, we're calling it. Titan being Saturn's largest moon. This is just going to be a way that we can track rune transactions at the speed of Arch and just make things super, super easy, further decentralizing Saturn. And we're also building an oracle that will keep our backend data in sync, keeping everything as decentralized as humanly possible. So if you're a developer that's working within runes and Bitcoin and Arch, hit us up for the Titan indexer. We haven't put it live just yet, but we're nearly there, just doing the final tests and stuff. So that's been going great. That's really cool. Another fun thing that fingers crossed is hopefully dropping today is Xverse on Saturn. They managed to get testnet 4 onto their wallet 2 weeks ago. So our devs have plugged that in. So fingers crossed that should be going live this evening. Well, if not in a couple of hours or so. So yeah, that's kind of the day-to-days. We keep on keeping on, keep hustling. There's some more like cosmetic features, design points, UI stuff that we've kind of had ready a long time ago. But we haven't built them or we haven't shipped them yet, as we just want to kind of focus on the high priority items. And outside of that, doing the end-to-end tests, getting ready for the audit. The Arch guys are also almost ready for their audit. And yeah, fingers crossed, get this thing to mainnet as soon as we can.
Love it. Love it. I have a question. I love how you guys do your liquidity pools in kind of 3 different, I guess, like options, right? The reward for people to add to LP, is that going to be in like a future Saturn token, or would it be Bitcoin, or how would you proceed with that?
I think my legal team would actually drop kick me in the head if I gave any specifics here. But I mean, it's an incentivized testnet, and it's also going to be an incentivized mainnet, and that I am allowed to say. So I'll let you guys draw the dots there. So obviously, you are going to get increased rewards for providing LP. And then once we are kind of beyond this farming period, there obviously is going to be other rewards as well.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So my last question for you is kind of on the similar timeline with Arch in terms of that mainnet rollout, you think?
Yeah. So obviously, Arch will go mainnet first. Once we've kind of established that, we imagine we'll be going live within kind of a day or so on basis that everything goes well with the audit and everything. But yeah, just generally sequencing there, making sure everything's aligned. Also want to make sure that we're working in coordination with the other teams that are hopefully going to be ready for day 1 of mainnet. So it should be quite a fun time.
Yeah, and I love the fact that one of your lead devs is working directly with Arch to kind of solve problems over there as well, because that makes me have even more confidence in Saturn once everything's rolled out. So that's awesome.
My number one criticism of Bitcoin has been this crabs in a bucket mentality that we've had ever since Ordinals were first introduced. Everyone was touting their layer 2, or everyone was touting a different token standard, and it just got extremely toxic very quickly. And if you look at Solana and you look at the cycle it's had, and you go back to its last bear market, there wasn't even a percentage of this competitiveness. There was a true builder culture. There was, holy shit, this thing's broken. Let's all get together, hack this out over a weekend and fix it. And that's starting to really happen within Arch at the moment. Everyone's just rolling up their sleeves and getting it done. And that's crazy, crazy bullish. Like, it's really difficult to kind of cultivate that ecosystem. So yeah, I mean, like, big shout out to Amin, Nick, Matt, all those guys for kind of getting all the soldiers in order. Obviously, huge shout out to Marcos, who is just a giga Chad at this point, is just making miracles happen. So yeah, things are really aligning, and hopefully this culture continues. Hopefully all the other products that decide to build on Arch inevitably get involved and help each other win.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, I just want to say to Hex, like, you guys have been incredibly active, smart, creative, and also just like working hard to integrate with us. And, you know, like you said, like, we published that update a week or 2 ago, and, you know, awesome. It's awesome to see kind of Saturn just revving up, and it's been an awesome journey. So, you know, him, Marcos, like you guys said, like, just worked directly with Amin, like, to make this happen from the very beginning, and the ecosystem really is showing up. And it really is, like we said earlier, like, you have to be somewhat selective on the builders you really go all in with, because it's a trust thing on both sides. But I'm happy to say that there are definitely a few projects that are like really showing themselves to be kind of those giga chads. So, you know, props to the builders. You guys are the ones making it happen, but it's pretty sick to see, and we're really thankful for the work, and we're hustling too to get over the finish line.
100%. Yeah, man. I have a quick question with the liquidity pools. Obviously, you know, you get rewarded for providing liquidity. You guys picked if you guys are going to use the Bitcoin fees you guys earn for the rewards, or are you guys going to have a token? Have you guys decided how you're going to? Oh, did you?
Yeah, I already asked him. He said that legal stepped in and covered his mouth real quick. Now,
okay, I got you. All right, cool. But, so yeah, because kind of what we were talking about earlier. I just can't. I was just doing a swap. So, but yeah, I think that's it. Hex, would love to give you the floor one last time to kind of talk to our audience.
I mean, hey, we're at a fun time in the market, right? I think a lot of people are freaking out about said narratives and meme coin super cycles and all of this jazz. But I think, and it's been a reoccurring theme ever since we started building on Bitcoin. I think this is going to be let's say hypothetically we do top out here, right? Which I'm not a believer in, but let's say hypothetically, I think fundamentally this is still the easiest time I've ever had in believing in Bitcoin. I mean, we can see now the products that are being built, and if we can capture the lows on this and come into a new cycle with a full Bitcoin ecosystem that works seamlessly, fast and cheap, I think we're all in the right place at the right time. So I'm extremely excited. It's just a case of you really do need to plug your ears to the noise and keep on hustling. Like, we really do need to realize how close we are to making this happen. Majority of all money in crypto is tied up in Bitcoin wallets, and it's not being used right now. It's the opportunity of a lifetime. So keep on keeping on. You're going to be fine.
Yep. I agree 100% with that. And hey, look, there's no better ecosystem to be in consistently, because remember, we had a mini bull market in 2023 when everybody else was like wondering if crypto would ever come back. So it can happen at any moment. Just be ready. And Hex, we appreciate you. We appreciate Ferks. We appreciate Andrew, all the builders, and of course, Nick as well. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you guys next Thursday.
Cheers, guys. Talk soon.
Cheers.
Take it easy.
Guys. Man, absolutely awesome. Again, another very amazing Arch Thursday, man. Yeah, 2 hours. Let's go.
Yep. 2 hours of streaming. We got 418 people in here. Hey, don't ever count Ordinal Revolution's community and audience out. It might be slow, might be bloody, but they are here to learn. And we hope that you learned something today. That's our main goal. Every episode, every live stream, every pre-record, everything that we do is to try to educate as much as possible. And we thank you guys for watching, because without you guys, we couldn't do what we love to do Monday through Friday. And so if you wouldn't mind checking out our partners, we would greatly appreciate it. Emblem Vault is going to be the interoperability tool for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, more specifically Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your puppets, your node monks, your frogs from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin Layer 2 to Abstract to Base to Arbitrum and a bunch of other chains. They might be working with Arch in the future. Who knows? Well, Arch, I guess you don't have to bridge, right? So it'll already be there. The point is that they're going to be everywhere. They're going to be branded everywhere. And they also have their Bitcoin AI wallet agent product that's going to be releasing very soon. You're going to be able to type to your Tensorium agent, and he's going to be able to vault your puppet for you, send it over, or make a runes trade. So it's going to be really exciting. And don't forget about their rune that they have for their TGE coming up in September. Right now, you can actually trade it on the ETH side. It trades on OpenSea. And then once that September 17th, 18th comes around, you're going to be able to unlock that vault and get your runes out of that. So it's going to be really exciting. You can learn more at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is an Xverse wallet and some Bitcoin, and it takes 6 blocks, and you can start placing bets on their markets right away. They're about to release their 24-hour markets, which is going to be really fun. You can, take long or short in 10-minute increments. So it's going to be really fun with that. Also, they have your create your own markets, which you're going to be able to create your own betting markets and post them on your socials and get people to place bets on there. And you're going to be able to earn up to 1.5% of the total volume. It's going to be very exciting. I'm definitely going to be participating in that. You can learn more at betbtc.win. And then BitParp is the parps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They will announce their paper trading competition any day now, but they will be on mainnet also very soon. They're saying, in Q1 for sure, but more details is going to come from those guys for sure. You're going to be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin Layer 1 fungible tokens like Dog Go to the Moon, as well as stuff outside the Bitcoin ecosystem, like the Trump token or Melania token. Any token pretty much that has momentum, you should be able to trade there. You can learn more at bitperp.io. And Fluid tokens. These guys are the UTXO wizard devs. In my opinion, they were the first to bring staking vaults to retail users on Bitcoin Layer 1. They have some new staking vaults that are going to be coming soon, so make sure that you have your notifications on for them. Follow them on X. Also, they have big news. They're going to be presenting in a Bitcoin 2025, the conference in Las Vegas, with a very big person from Cardano. I'll just leave it there. So they got a lot of building that they're doing, guys, and they're also going to be on Arch. We just went over Arch. They're going to be there too. So you can learn more at fluidtokens.com and click on the Bitcoin logo to learn more about their Bitcoin operations. And Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1, you want your protocol to be a bit more flexible and quick, you can reach out to Merlin Chain's team and apply for a builder's grant. They have great builder support there. And if you're a retail user, you can swap for synthetic Doggo to the Moon token with your Merle or Merlin token or your Wrap Bitcoin using merlinswap.org. You can learn more at merlinchain.io. And don't forget about our integrated partners, Foxy, building the metaverse on Bitcoin Layer 1 called the Bitverse, and the first-person shooter game called Clan Wars. And we're going to be streaming that this Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And so if you're on the abstract side, you are more than welcome to play as well. You're going to have to download a Bitcoin wallet or a Phantom wallet, and that will log you in. But it's and then you can pick whatever team you want to be on, but it should be fun. We'll probably stream for an hour or so. But yeah, make sure you don't miss that. And lastly, but not least, Ordinal Hive is the aggregator Ordinal marketplace for Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2 on Merlin Chain. The cheapest Ordinals around you're going to be able to find on Ordinal Hive. And they have amazing tools on and features on their website as well, like live mempool action. You're going to be able to see if someone fat fingered a node monk for $15 or a puppet for $5, and hopefully you can get it. But you're going to be able to see what's going on in the mempool there. And we thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. And before we get out of here, I just want to show you update on this. 86%, dude, of the stones right now. Pretty crazy. I actually didn't think it was good this high. I mean, I didn't know 4,000 were pre-mined, but it is yeah. I mean, this is probably going to mint out because it hasn't hit public yet. So congratulations to Leo. Mission accomplished. But if you guys wouldn't mind checking out ordinalrevolution.com, some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the #1 VPN. That's Nord. Check it out here, guys. Everything at ordinalrevolution.com. 70% off coupon. Like if you click the link, it is like super cheap compared to. I was looking around at VPNs, and to the comparison of what Nord offers, I mean, you're getting a really good deal for $3.39 each. And right now, I'm not in the US. That is why it's giving me a weird number. But yeah, because I'm using my my VPN right now, guys. My Nord VPN. So check it out here. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, we'll both be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But don't wait to get your tickets in May. Get them as soon as possible and use our link here. It helps the show, and appreciate that. And if you guys need merch for ETH Denver or Las Vegas, or just to hang around in the house, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto, not just Ordinals. Check everything out here at ordinalrevolution.com. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out. And on that note, we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls. Bet I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.